A John Candy documentary. I don't know why this surprised me that it happened as much as it did. Because I've always loved John Candy. I remember when he died and it was crushing. I just didn't expect this documentary, but I'm glad it happened, so let's talk about it. So John Candy, I Like Me is directed by Colin Hanks. It got some buzz when it premiered at a film festival, I forget which one it was, but I was absolutely interested when I heard this was out there, this was made, it's a thing. I'll be able to see it soon. It's on Amazon Prime right now in case I forget to mention it later in the video. And of course, the title I Like Me comes from that absolute classic gut punch response he gives in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And yeah, this documentary is about the life and career of the late actor John Candy. You might know him as Uncle Buck from Uncle Buck, Del Griffith from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Can't forget Barf from Spaceballs, quite a few other roles. Also the animation Camp Candy. And as a business actor peek behind the curtain, it's fascinating. Just hearing the behind the scenes stories of people who worked with him and the people they have talking about John Candy in here is pretty amazing name. Starts out with Bill Murray. You got Dan Aykroyd, Mel Brooks, Macaulay Culkin. This was actually a headline after this movie premiered at the film festival, where it's Macaulay Culkin talking about how his family life sucked and his father was horrible. John Candy kind of saw that. He would always check up on Macaulay Culkin and be like, how you doing? How's home? Everything good? Man, you hear stories like that and you're like, he was the real one. Some are fun, whimsical stories, others emotional. Tom Hanks was talking about the two of them on Splash doing a scene together. But Tom Hanks was saying John Candy never wanted to overshadow somebody in the scene. He wanted the back and forth. He actually wanted his co-stars to stand out. The lack of ego there, the phrase rare treasure, just doesn't quite cover it. And as a good documentary like this should do, you see a peek behind the curtain of the myth, and you see the vulnerability of the man. The fact that he had anxiety, his insecurities. Also these classic scenes and jokes in movies that I saw as classic. I didn't know John Candy had a problem with him, but there's scenes and jokes he didn't like, he didn't want to do. Just paints a fuller picture of the situation. It reminds you, yeah, these actors are people. And sometimes they're forced into doing things they don't want to do. But it also touches on his personal life. His father died at age 35 of a heart attack. John Candy was really young. That affected him throughout his life. And of course it would. How would that not affect a kid who would become a man? Affect him all his life. I do love and appreciate these documentaries rolling out about these actors, like Val was another great one. Always great when the summary is essentially yes, they were as decent as they seemed. In the end, I'm gonna make this one quick because the point is, it's a really good documentary. In fact, a great documentary about someone's life and career. You should definitely watch it. It's an emotional journey. I have never been so on the verge of man tears for a full 2-hour runtime to that degree. To me, the death of John Candy, he was the first actor who died in which I was old enough to have seen enough of his work to understand what it meant and feel it. As it's been 31 years since John Candy passed away, I don't actively think about John Candy passing away, but this was the John Candy eulogy I didn't know I needed. An absolute celebration of the life of a sweetheart of a human being. Gone too soon, so I'm glad people get to watch this, because John Candy, I Like Me, is awesome-tacular. This documentary reminded me that every year around this time, I always go, hey, I should review Planes, Trains, and Automobiles on my channel. And Thanksgiving comes and goes. It's the family hustle of it all. I just never get to it. This year, I mean to make it happen when Thanksgiving gets a little closer. All right, so John Candy, I Like Me. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's another great documentary about someone's life? Hopefully, of the feel-good nature. It's Halloween. We got enough doom and gloom coming from one side. I like offsetting it with, positivity and others. Whoever they are, whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.